What's up, guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And I'm proving it right now because, as I'm showing you in just a second, I'm contracting the TVA, the transfer abdominis, as I'm doing these decline ab crunches. And that will actually activate the muscle that is responsible for keeping your waist small. So I recommend you guys trying to hold in your stomach, pull in your belly button to your spine when you are doing any sort of crunches, and this will actually help make your waist even more narrow than it is. It will make you practice, make you get used to doing the vacuum pose, especially when you're a bodybuilder on stage. It's a very nice thing to know. And I'm actually wearing these Archer AH17 Bluetooth headphones. Using them right now, testing them out. Someone of this company, or representing this company, asked me to test this Bluetooth earphone out, and I have to say that I quite like it, but there are of course pros and cons to it. I'll make a separate video where I explain more about it. But for example, when I'm doing these ab crunches, when I'm going downwards, the bass basically disappears a little bit because the pressure inside my ear changes and the earpods won't connect to, I don't know, to my ear as well because of the momentum or the gravity, I don't know. But because of the shape of the earphones, they actually do stay in place, because I do have a Philips Bluetooth headphones, and they fall out when I'm really moving too much around. Anyway, the second exercise of the day is knee raises, and it's one of my favorite ones for the abs, and you can very easily contract the transfer abdominis during this exercise, pulling in the belly button to the spine, especially when my legs are in a stretched position downwards. You can really feel the TVA stretch, and when you go upwards you can really pull in your stomach even more. So try to also contract your abs, but focus more on the TVA. And right here I'm rocking my Vintage Genetics joggers and tank top, and right there is a design that is, well, an old design that I might release in the future. But the next exercise, guys, the rope cable crunches, and this is one that Arnold Schwarzenegger used to do as well, and it's one of my favorites in terms of constant tension in the abs, because when you go down and up, it doesn't matter at what point of the range of motion, you can still feel the tension, the weight pulling on your abs. And this exercise is very suitable for contracting the transverse abdominis, because I'm going to show you in this next clip where I'm performing the exercise a little bit different. I'm using 5 rep intervals, basically doing 5 reps high, 5 reps low, 5 reps whole, and repeat this. But during this whole process you can really pull in your stomach, especially when you're down low. You can literally, because your back is rounding, you can much easier pull in your stomach and activate the TVA. And this is really another way of training the abs, including the transfer abdominis. It just changes the entire feeling of the exercise. So I truly recommend you guys just give it a shot and see how it feels for you. And because the traps can always get bigger, they're never big enough, and they are kind of a weak point, at least I can improve upon them, especially the thickness. I'm including shrugs at least 2 to 3 times a week. Here I'm doing dumbbell shrugs. These are the heaviest dumbbells there are. You know, I would like heavier dumbbells than this. These are 50 kilo dumbbells, but that's why I'm holding it at the top to make it a little more difficult. And this is an interesting trapezius exercise indeed, T-bar shrugs. So normally this exercise you use your biceps as well and your entire back to pull up the weight. But as you're about to see, I'm only using the upper back to really get that thickness right there, and trying to keep my arms stretched. They might bend a few degrees because of the movement, but what you should try is really pull up the weight purely with your traps. Just imagine that someone wants to put a coin in between your shoulder blades, and that's what you want to achieve during this exercise. And this is a great one for trap thickness. And then of course my stretching. So I didn't mention it yet, but this is actually my quote-unquote rest day where I do abs and weak points. I don't really have a full workout, but I also always like to stretch. So I do these ab stretches and also did some leg and glute and lower back stretches. But right here I'm combining abdominal stretches for 15 seconds with 10 seconds of pulling in my stomach. So 15 seconds of stretches and 10 seconds of a vacuum to really get that waist in optimal form. Alright guys, just got home from the workout. I had my post-workout shake of 30 grams of whey protein from Scientific Nutrition, and now I'm going to have actually a glass of juice of vegetables and fruits. So I'm going to juice it right in here, the XXL version of a juicer. You basically put the vegetables in here. It's already been used today, obviously. Vegetables and fruits in here, and it comes out right in here. Now the reason why I think this is important is because the micronutrients allow your body to metabolize the protein. And I'm going to be adding fruits like this. As you can see, we've got a lot of different items. And in the fridge, there's also a lot of different vegetables and fruits which I'm going to add. And I have just put in some carrots, an apple, I'll put in an orange, I'll put in a grapefruit, I'll put in celery, some spinach, some ginger, and then mix it all up and drink it. I'm gonna show you the end result in just a minute, but let me show you how it works. Well, that was quite a lot of noise, but that's because it's already full, kinda. Normally it doesn't make that much noise. But I'm gonna finish this off and show you the end result. So this is the end result. I actually put a red beet in there as well, and the green color is because of the spinach. The chlorophyll that's in the spinach, which is very good for you. Now, I'm not saying that you should buy one of those juicers or juice vegetables, but what I recommend that you do is eat or consume just vegetables after training. And about 30 minutes after drinking that glass, I'll have my post-workout meal. So right after working out, I take 30 grams of whey protein just to put some protein back into my system. And then to metabolize that protein efficiently and effectively, I like to use some of that. Juiced vegetables and fruits, because the micronutrients and the phytochemicals in there combined, that's what my body will be able to use to metabolize the protein and cause the muscle synthesis to be at its most effective state. So that's what I recommend you do, guys. A lot of people eat plain rice and plain chicken after working out. There are very little nutrients in there, except for the carbs and the protein, but you need the micronutrients. Just add some vegetables to your meal, and that will do just fine. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this glass. It actually doesn't taste bad. It tastes pretty good. Alright, I'm upstairs now. It's about half an hour after drinking the juiced vegetables and fruits. And right now I'm having my post-workout meal, so let me show you what that is right now. What we see right here is 300 grams of cooked brown rice with 1 large sweet bell pepper, half an onion, and 200 grams of salmon mixed in it. I like stir-fried meals a lot. Allows me to add some spices in there, allows me to add some coconut oil and put it all through the meal. So this is a very nice meal containing about 40 to 50 grams of protein, probably 55 actually. Quite enough carbs to fill up the muscles again, and some micronutrients, which are very important. And I'm going to enjoy this meal right now. And this is the third meal of the day that I'm making. This is again bell pepper with some onion, but then I added a vegetarian option this time. And this is made actually of mushrooms and fungus. It may not sound tasty, but it is. And in here, we've got some spelt pasta cooking. I'm going to add that in there, stir fry for a minute, and then enjoy it fully. So this is basically a vegan meal. And what I told you guys about leucine before, that soy protein or any other non-animal protein usually doesn't have enough leucine in there. So what I do with this meal, for example, I use a leucine capsule, about 3 to 4 capsules to get in about 2 to 3 grams of leucine from Scientific Nutrition, so that I at least have enough leucine in there to maximize muscle synthesis, yes, because that's what leucine does, which is an amino acid that's essential to the body. Your body cannot create it itself, it needs to get it from food. And if this was chicken, for example, or tuna, which is very high in leucine, you would not need an extra capsule. But when you have something like this, where you're not sure that the leucine content is high enough, you add another leucine source by adding a little capsule to the meal. I just swallowed it right now. So that's my tip to you guys, is that you never have to worry or doubt about the protein content of a meal like this. Beautiful. Alright, so we just added the pasta to this meal. I'm actually going to add some Italian herbs. And if you can see, it's gonna zoom in, which it's not gonna. But what's in here is basil, oregano, parsley, rosemary, black pepper, stuff like that. So I'm going to add that to this meal. There's already some salt in there as well, so that's going to be an awesome addition. Just added the herbs, as you can see. Stir fry it. Kaboom! And look at that. Isn't that a beautiful meal to enjoy? It's the third meal of the day. It's around 5 o'clock right now. At around in between here, 7 and 8 o'clock, I have my fourth meal. Around between 9 and 10, I have my fifth meal. And then before bed, which is however late, I have my last and sixth meal. Right, guys, I just got out of the shower and I had my third meal before that, and now it's time for the fourth meal. But before making that one, I'm going to prepare my dessert, a sweet that I like to have sometimes, and it's standing right here, so let's take a look. And it's right here, the protein ice cream from Scientific Nutrition. But I showed you guys this one before in this video right here, but this one is reduced in carbs and sugars. This is a light version of the protein. There's a little dent in here, but we can still read it. So this is one portion, and there's only 10 grams of carbs, of which there's only 6 grams of carbs, of which 5.8 is sugar, and there's more protein in here than carbs and more than fats. So this is quite a nice meal to have late in the evening when your carb intake is lower, your fat intake is higher. And I'm gotta be honest, this one tastes amazing when it's not light. I haven't tested this one out yet, but I'm going to make it right now. So I use this machine to stir it up for about 5 to 10 minutes. I added about 2 portions, so 100 grams and about 250 mils of liquid almond milk, in fact. And, you know, I'm gonna turn this one on right now. Kaboom. And we are going to check in about 5 minutes what it will look like. Alright, and this is the result, guys. Look at that, it's nice and airy, aerated.
Oops,
And I'm going to add this in the freezer for about 3 hours and then look at the result, because then it should be frozen solid. Alrighty guys, I'm about to head to my bed and sleep for the night. Tomorrow morning is another training day, going to train the chest. But before I'm going to sleep, I'm going to have the protein ice cream. So let's take a look what the end result is after a few hours in the freezer. Alright, look at this big bowl of ice. This is 2 portions. And this is basically the texture of it. You know, it looks like ice cream. And let me test. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It tastes, wow, like ice cream. You literally cannot taste it. It's a light version. It's quite amazing. Look, you can actually see it's not totally frozen yet in the center. See? But it's frozen enough for me. I like it as it is. So, this is about 30 grams of protein in total. And that'll do it for today, guys. Tomorrow is a new, brand new day. Chest day. I'm excited already. So let's get a good night's sleep and see you next time. And don't forget to stay golden. The beat.